when it comes to achieving financial freedom and making more money to become rich in life. Robert Kiyosaki is the person you should learn from. So in this video, we are going to tell you about the top 10 laws of success by Robert Kiyosaki. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon, so let's start. Number 10. Set out to gain experience. Kiyosaki started his career without having much money, just like everyone else. And he believed that it was his experience that brought him where he is today. He once told me in one of his classes that he bought his first investment property in Hawaii. It was a small $18,000 condominium, and he paid the deposit of $2,000 using his credit card. He did agree that it was not a wise move, but that experience was what made him a great real estate investor today. Thus, set out to gain more experience. While it is true that you can learn and gain new knowledge through reading books, attending seminars, and learning from other people, you cannot gain new experience simply through reading. Kiyosaki also gave a good example of cycling. He said that one cannot learn how to ride a bicycle by reading a book. The only way you can acquire that skill is to hop on the bicycle and learn to ride it. Number 9. The more you give, the more you receive. Kiyosaki is a strong believer in the principle that the more you give, the more you will receive. He used his dad in his book as an example. He said his poor dad only wants to have more and does not want to give. His poor dad believes that the more he gives, the more he will lose. And this is why his poor dad does not want to work more, but desires to receive more. On the contrary, his rich dad believes that the more he works and the more he gives, the more he will receive. In the business world, the more value you create for your customers, the more customers you will have. A lot of people get it wrong by thinking that if they want to receive more, they need to squeeze every penny out of their clients and their business, which is a wrong way. Number 8. Your thinking determines your success. How you think will ultimately determine how you live. And like all other successful people, Kiyosaki believes that how we think will determine the results we get in our lives too. He told his story on the Oprah Winfrey Show that like all other business people, he was broke before he became successful. When the bill collectors called, instead of letting those events shrink him and lived in fear, he used them as a motivator to work harder and to pay himself first. Most people believe that adversity will take them down and block them from going further. But Kiyosaki said that he would think differently and use adversity as his stepping stone to higher success. Therefore, if you are not living the life you want right now, the first thing you need to do is to change the way you think. When your thinking changed, you will make a different decision and act differently. And eventually, your life will change. Number 7. Focus is key. In one of his seminars, Kiyosaki shared his view on focus. He said that focus simply means follow one course until successful. And that is exactly what he did when he first started. He also said he joined a real estate investment seminar in 1997, and he followed what he has learned from that seminar until he became a master before he decided to become an entrepreneur. The problem with most people is that they do not have the focus to stay on the course. Most people set goals, attend seminars, and learn how to be successful in whatever they do, be it in business or in investment, but they do not follow through. A lot of people want to lose weight, and they set it as a goal to hit the gym, to exercise, and to eat healthy food. However, only those who stick to the plan are able to achieve the goals. Number 6. Hard times bring new opportunities. Kiyosaki admitted that he made more money when the economy is tough. This is because he believed that the window of opportunity will open when things are tough, and everyone looks at it as a dire situation. When things are tough, people will be in a panic mode and wanted to sell everything, including good businesses that are making a lot of money. Kiyosaki said that he bought 5 golf courses during the economic downturn because people wanted to sell quickly and they are selling it way below the market price. And he bought them. And a couple of years later, when the economy turns good, he receives great offers to buy the golf courses, and this is what makes it a great deal. Number 5. Don't be afraid to lose. Every successful people fail at least once in their lifetime. Henry Ford went broke 5 times before he finally became successful in his automobile business. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, was fired from the board of directors and the company he started. but he eventually made it back to Apple and built it into one of the most innovative companies of the decade. And Robert Kiyosaki said that he has failed many times in his businesses too. He also mentioned that his friend, Donald Trump, who has co-authored a few books with him, also failed many times and was billion-dollar in debt before he bounced back and became even more successful. So do not be afraid to lose. Number 4. Be financially educated. Kiyosaki shared a lot of his ideas and concepts on the subject of personal finance. He is an advocate and believes that if someone wanted to be financially successful, he must first equip himself with the necessary financial education. One of his principles that can change your financial status is to understand what you are working on. In his books, he categorized jobs and careers into 4 main categories, and they are the employee, the self-employed, the businessman, and the investor. And you need to understand which category you are in if you want to become rich. Number 3. Build and grow your assets. One of the most important success lessons everyone should learn from Kiyosaki is to build and grow their assets. Most people have the wrong perception of assets and liabilities. They thought that a house is an asset. When you buy a house and move in there yourself, your house is not producing any passive income for you. Instead, you have to put in money for your house, such as buying furniture and renovating it. Number 2. Saving money is obsolete. When it comes to becoming financially successful, what most people will do is to save money. Kiyosaki said that this is not a wise move because you simply cannot keep up with the fluctuations in the value of the currency, which will weaken your buying power. The inflation rate will be higher than the interest you receive from saving money in the bank. Number 1. The rich don't work for money. Another popular concept from Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, is that the rich do not work for money. Rather, they use their money to work for them. Robert Kiyosaki often says, "Money works for me," and not the other way around. When you ask people why they are doing all the work, they will tell you that they are working for the money. Most people spend most of their time working to earn a living and pay the bills. The downside of this approach is that you are exchanging your time for money. And in order to make more money, you will have to sell more of your time working harder and longer hours. On the other hand, rich and successful people do not work for money. Instead, they build businesses and make investments so that they receive passive income with little or no work. Rather than spending their time working for money, the rich make full use of their money to work for them.